for proven and effective ways to propagate a Monstera, or Swiss cheese plant. Monsteras are known for their large, lush green leaves full of eye-catching holes, which is why they are often called Swiss cheese plants. If you have a Swiss cheese plant and want to grow your collection, it's super easy to propagate it into new plant babies. In this article, we'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to take a Swiss cheese plant cutting and propagate it in water, soil, and moss. We'll also tell you how you can propagate without taking a cutting, too. Read on to get propagating. Things you should know. Propagate in water by cutting a healthy stem below a node. Place the cutting in water and wait about 2 months for thick, white roots to grow before planting. Propagate in soil by placing a cutting in a pot full of moist, well-draining soil. Repot your cutting in a bigger pot when you see new leaves growing. Propagate in moss by placing a cutting in a glass of moistened sphagnum moss. Wait about 2 months for thick, white roots to grow before planting in soil. Grow roots on an intact stem by wrapping moist sphagnum moss and plastic wrap around a node. Cut the stem below the roots once they've grown and plant in soil. 1. Propagating Swiss cheese plant in water. 1. Find a stem with a node and cut 1 to 2 inches, to 5 centimeters, below it. Look for a healthily growing stem that has other stems, leaves, or a brown aerial root branching off of it. The area where your stem divides and grows is called a node. Simply snip the stem 1 to 2 inches, to 5 centimeters, below the node with cutting shears or scissors to get your cutting. Choose a stem with at least 1 leaf on it. The more leaves and nodes your stem has, the faster it is likely to grow. Avoid cutting a stem with any damaged, yellow, or wilting leaves. 2. Fill a glass with water and place your stem cutting inside. Find a tall, clear glass or vase that allows your Swiss cheese plant cutting to stand upright. Set your cutting inside and pour enough water into the glass so the node and most of the stem are covered. While you don't necessarily have to use a clear glass, it lets you watch as the roots grow and can help you monitor for any rotting on the stem or roots. 3. Set your cutting in a location that receives indirect light. Find an area in your home that gets lots of warm light. Just make sure the light isn't harsh or intense. Swiss cheese plants need lots of light to grow, but direct light can burn their leaves. If you have a window in your bathroom, that can be a great place to set your Monstera cuttings. These plants love humidity, so they'll definitely appreciate the steamy environment. Change the water in the glass every 3 to 5 days, or when the water becomes cloudy. Monsteras are tropical plants and thrive in climates between 60 to 80 degrees F, 15-26 degrees C. If you live in a cooler climate, just be sure to keep your plant away from drafty areas. 4. Watch as your cutting grows roots over the next 2 months. Most Swiss cheese plants start growing roots after about 1 to 2 weeks. However, their roots need to be nice and long before they're ready to be potted. Be patient as your plant works its magic, and continue to monitor its roots for any rotting. 5. Rotting roots look black and squishy. If you notice any root rot, simply trim off the rotting bit. You'll know it's time to pot your cutting when its roots have grown almost as long and thick as the stem. 5. Plant your cutting in soil once it has lots of thick, white roots. Choose a pot with drainage holes that's at least 5 inches, 12 centimeters, deep and wide. Fill it about halfway full with well-draining soil. Place the cutting inside and fill the rest of the pot with soil. Then, give your new Swiss cheese plant a thorough drink of water. 6. Set your new plant in front of a sunny window that doesn't get harsh, direct light. Let your Monstera dry out between waterings. You can tell that it's time to water by sticking your finger about 1 to 2 inches, to 5 centimeters, deep into the soil. If it's dry, water your plant. It's totally normal for your Monstera to droop a little as it gets used to being in soil. You can also choose to let your plant grow in water. Swiss cheese plants definitely prefer soil, but they can survive for several years in water too. Just make sure to regularly change the water once it's cloudy, and transfer it to a bigger vase when its roots start to overtake its current glass.